Welcome back. We're learning about 3 reported domestic violence cases in Salt Lake County this past weekend. Now, this is all according to court documents. The first one was on Saturday when a woman reported her boyfriend tried to strangle her and then used a knife to break her phone. Then on Sunday, another woman says her boyfriend strangled her 3 separate times during a fight. That same day, records show a man grabbed a kid in a chokehold while walking on the street, and police say that all had to do with something of what he was wearing. Officers made all arrests in all 3 of those cases. Clearly an active weekend involving domestic violence incidents. Now, we have South Valley Services here, though, with us in studio to discuss how to help, how to find safe shelter, and important resources if you are a loved one facing potentially dangerous situations. So this is Josie White. Josie, thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so you heard a lot went on over the weekend, I guess. First, what do you think is most important for people to know about that? Some heavy situations there.
Absolutely. And I think one of the most important things to know is that domestic violence could affect anyone. It doesn't discriminate based on class, race, anything. It's in our community and it's endemic. But what that means is if you see something, you should say something.
See something, say something. And 3 cases in one weekend. Can you tell us, is this something you've seen before? Does this have anything to do with the time of year? Do you see more in the summer? How does that work?
That's a great question. And in Utah, rates of domestic violence are so high. It's 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men, and 1 in 2 trans and non-binary persons are going to experience it. We know these calls are happening all the time. It's just whether or not they get picked up by the news, and that's not always the case. And so in Utah, it's unfortunately high year-round.
And of course, it's heartbreaking to hear about these kind of cases. If you or if this resonates with someone, where do they start to report? What do they do?
So if you're in a dangerous situation, you should always call 911. Law enforcement statewide are trained on how to respond and react to domestic violence calls through the lethality assessment protocol. So what that means is they know how to refer individuals to services and make those connections. If you're not in immediate danger or somebody you know might be experiencing it, one of the best things you can do is to call the Utah Domestic Violence Link Line or the hotline for your local shelter. There are shelters spread throughout the state, and there are victim advocates waiting and ready for your call.
Okay, and finally, Josie, you're with South Valley Services specifically. Tell us a little bit about what kind of resources do you guys offer?
Yeah, so South Valley Services runs 2 shelters, 1 in the southern part of Salt Lake County and 1 in Tooele County. We also have community-based services, which means people can stop in and out for services like case management and therapy and support groups without staying in a shelter. So even if somebody doesn't need emergency shelter, we can still support them.
Okay, finally, if anyone wants to learn more, if they want to find more information, where should they go?
They should go to SV as in Valley, Utah.org or call our hotline at 801-255-1095.
Okay, all good things to keep in mind. Josie White with South Valley Services. Josie, thank you very much. We appreciate having you today.